The following program, Know the Cause, is paid for by Mediatrician Incorporated.
You know, the big question has been forever and ever, amen, should all women be screened by mammogram? Seems the older you get, talk to your doctor. Really, think about this. Talk to your doctor. Kelli Callihan, I did a Zoom call with her. She's a pro in the area of thermography instead of mammography. So watch the first segment and then just think about thermography. I think thermography is a good tool. Many women use it with mammography, okay? You'll learn all about that today. Randy Naidoo is an MD, he's a pediatrician, and he's gonna talk about our children's exposure to games and smart meters behind the headboard and outside their house, etc. I think it's a really, really good segment. And then toward the end of the show, folks, I couldn't believe this. Journal of the American Medical Association. An observational analysis revealed that postmenopausal women who drink at least one sugar-sweetened beverage daily had an 85% increased risk of developing liver cancer and a 68% increased risk of dying from chronic liver disease compared to those who didn't drink any soda pop. This show stimulates your brain. It gets you thinking. Don't ever let me tell you, don't take a mammogram. Study, and then you'll know best.
For the past 45 years, I have dedicated my life and my whole career to finding the root cause of disease. And I now know with certainty that we must play a role in our own health care. I'm a self-care advocate, and you know what? Every time you change your diet for the better, exercise, or swallow a nutritional supplement, so are you. Now welcome to Know the Cause.
Early cancer detection. One of the tests done is a PSA test men have for prostate cancer. You know my take on that. The other is mammogram that women are encouraged to get. This show, never let this show challenge or question what your doctor recommends for your health. I don't know your health. But older women, I hope you're watching right now because National Cancer Institute says, better rethink these mammograms, okay? Should all women be screened for breast cancer? A new report says no. This isn't Doug Kaufman. I've been harping on this. How long have you watched me on TV? 25 years? I've been saying this all that time. For nearly 4 decades now, the country has recognized October as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is a time annually devoted to educating everyone about breast cancer, including metastatic breast cancer, and the importance of early detection, and access to timely, high-quality care. By the way, I met this group when I first moved to Dallas 35, 40 years ago. They're wonderful. They were wonderful. They really are concerned. But their recommendations are a bit short here, and you'll see what I mean. Annals of Internal Medicine said in August of 23, funded by the National Cancer Institute, the report said continued breast cancer screening was associated with a greater incidence of breast cancer, suggesting overdiagnosis, false positive, may be common among older women who are diagnosed with breast cancer after screening. How overdiagnosed were these older women? I read these all the time now. What we thought was great, estrogen, progesterone for all women when they hit menopause age, wasn't, okay? Folks, what was standard and tradition in medicine is now rapidly changing. Do your own studies, but know this, okay? Breast cancer overdiagnosis. In women aged 70 to 74, that's me, but I'm not a woman, an estimated 31% of breast cancer among screened women were potentially, I love that word, they were overdiagnosed. How about 75 to 85 year? Are women still getting mammograms at that age? Almost half, were potentially overdiagnosed. In women over 84 years old, over half were overdiagnosed. National Cancer Institute. Now, does this word make it back to the doctor who recommends the screening of older women? That's why Know the Cause is on the air. I'm not questioning your doctor. He or she may have every right motive in seeing to it. Maybe I have a history of breast cancer and they just want to keep an eye on it. But know that what about false positives and false negative mammograms? Here you go. Additional reasons to talk to your doctor before you get a mammogram. False positives. Up to a fourth of breast cancers, and this is in younger women, found through mammograms are harmless and would not cause noticeable disease during the woman's lifetime. So 25% of breast cancers are false positive. How about false negatives? Screening mammograms miss about 20% of breast cancers, says cancer.gov, that are present at the time of screening. So 25% false positive, 20% false negative equals 45% ineffective, or 55% effective. And folks, the numbers that I've come across recently, especially in the older women, over half of them may be false positively diagnosed. Well, what about false negative? If 54% of 84-year-olds are receiving a false positive, what about the false negative? Could that be 20%? So is that test, the mammogram, about 20% accurate in older women? The longer I live, the more I see that what was once standard and accepted as gospel in medicine is beginning to deteriorate. Look, we know 3 things that we know induce breast cancer. High starch, potatoes, rice in your diet, or high grain diet. Number 2, alcohol of any kind. And number 3, antibiotics. Mycotoxins, mycotoxins, mycotoxins. Fungal metabolites increase your risk of breast cancer, whether you're 20 or whether you're 84. Ionizing radiation, this one scares me. Women working in healthcare who are regularly exposed to radiation from x-rays and other imaging procedures need better ionizing radiation protection to help minimize their risk of developing breast cancer, argue doctors in the British Medical Journal. Ionizing radiation is a known human carcinogen, and breast cancer is highly radiation sensitive. As such, there are concerns that regular exposure to ionizing radiation during image-guided procedures like mammogram, may be linked to a higher risk of breast cancer in female healthcare workers. If you have a concern, always talk to your doctor. They're worried here about women who are working in breast imaging and x-rays and so. What about the woman going in for the screening? Shooting ionizing radiation through a breast, you and your doctor make that decision. Don't let me. I'm just here to teach you there's 2 sides to every story. Hope that helps. This is a 5-minute segment I should have brought you a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I did maybe 20 years ago, but I want to bring it to you again. Every woman and every man knows what a mammogram is. Few women or men know what a thermogram is, but joining me right now is Kelli Callihan, who's a specialist, a technician out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, who understands thermograms. She and I were talking on the phone. She understands this better than I think a lot of people do. Kelli, welcome to the show. Thank you, first off, for being here today, getting up early in the morning and being on Know the Cause. Second of all, explain to our audience in layman's terms what a thermogram is. I think we all know mammogram. What's a thermogram?
Yeah, really, thermogram is a medical imaging procedure that involves no radiation, no compression. It's completely painless and really easy to do. Simply put, thermography it measures the infrared heat radiating from the body. Okay, so it can be used anywhere, but I know a lot of women get breast thermograms done. But still their doctors say, okay, I'm not so sure if I understand enough about that. The position, I think, of the Food and Drug and many doctors is always get your mammogram. But as a backup plan, thermogram isn't going to hurt you, right? What do you see when you look at a thermogram? I've looked at some mammograms. So when you look at a thermogram, what kind of imaging indicate to you, ooh boy, I got to talk to this woman or get her doctor this information, etc.? Yeah. So mammogram, thermogram, completely different technologies. One, thermogram is looking at the physiology or how the breast is functioning. Mammograms are looking more at the structure or the anatomy of the breast. So when we're doing thermography, we're looking for symmetry. We want to see both breasts looking the same. We never see breast cancer in the same exact spot on both breasts. So when we do thermography, if we have a high-risk thermogram, we're going to see a lot of vascular patterns that are unusual. So we're looking for that asymmetry and unusual.
So here,
patterns.
this is an atypical one, right? This is abnormal. And teach us again, you see over the left breast on the TV is some rouleauing. It looks like red blood cells rouleauing, but it's vascular. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So those are unusual blood vessel patterns there. So we see almost a circle, it makes like a ring pattern almost there. And then those sharp points, those are the unusual blood vessel patterns. We don't see the symmetry on both breasts there.
You said this was one of your mentor's graphics, but this woman did in fact have breast cancer.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So when the tumor is developing, it starts to pull in the blood vessels. That's where we get those unusual blood vessel patterns. More blood flow, dilation of the blood vessels, that shows us more heat.
Okay, now we're putting up a normal. This is one you hope to see in every woman that you do this procedure on. It's called low risk, not normal, but low risk thermal scan. And there I see symmetry.
Yes, yes. Again, so we've got the symmetry there. Blue is a cool color. At the bottom of that image, you'll be able to see the color scale.
Okay.
Black is the coldest, white being the hottest. I like to say blue boobs are best.
Okay, so this would be a within normal limits. Do women ask that you forward these plates to their doctors? Is that pretty common?
No. So it depends on the doctor. So medical doctors don't usually. They are not really interested in thermography, and I think it's mostly because they don't understand the technology. It's not the same as a mammogram.
Yeah.
So thermography is very preventative. We see these changes happening in the breast on average 6 to 8 years before a mammogram is going to see a tumor, and by then it's only a centimeter in size.
Breast implants. Can a woman who has breast implants get a thermogram done?
Yes. Thermography is an excellent breast test for women with implants. There's no compression.
Yeah, so that would make total sense. Folks, if you want more information, you can actually email. Thank you for giving your email. I hope you aren't overwhelmed with this, but thermography NW for Northwest, thermography NW at yahoo.com, or look at her website, a lot of information. She's got, we did this in another interview that'll air next month sometime. We talk about the 5 top breast health tips also. But her website is thermographynorthwest.com. Thermographynorthwest, all one word, .com. Kelli, this has been a learning experience for me, and I trust the audience also. Thank you for being with us, and God bless you.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Dr. Randy Naidoo, Shine Pediatric Wellness Center. Does that tell you everything? Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. Went to University of Miami in Florida, from Texas here to become a football star, and you did very, very well. But somewhere along the line, God tapped your shoulder and said, pediatrics. Tell us about that.
Well, probably the reality of it was I was good, but I wasn't great, and the NFL wasn't calling me. But you know, who knows? The resources that kids have now, maybe I could have kept playing after college. But
you see how God...
He has a story.
I mean, it's amazing what's happening. Yeah. Locally here, in the Texas area, this is the pediatrician. And I think it's because of your heart. I really do. I've seen you sit down with patients. Screen time. Do you know what screen time is? I didn't until I had grandsons, but screen time is everything from a little computer to a cell phone. And I'm very proud of my oldest son and his wife out in the Austin area with their sons in really limiting screen time. You see, hundreds of kids a week. Do you make recommendations to parents, and do parents inquire about that? Is that important to them?
I'm extremely vigilant in this area because of my biomedical engineering background, understanding about how telecommunication plays a role in our physiology, what it does to blood flow, what it does to potentially making certain microorganisms being more potent or pathogenic. And I think we're living in a day and an age where we really have to respect how telecommunication can impact our health in a negative way. So we have all of the internet and the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. We even have, like, now these kiddos are wearing the AirPods in one ear and in the other, and then the brain is right there in the middle, and we're creating these electromagnetic fields. I think another big thing that we ask in our practice more is, like, do you have an electric vehicle? I think nobody's really addressing that aspect of those big batteries and the electromagnetic field that it plays in an individual's health, because we spend a lot of time in our vehicles as well. And now you have homes that have smart meters. And so there's all these electromagnetic fields, and what kind of impact is that having on our physiology? I don't think that has been addressed in significant detail.
And then we're looking at GMO and now bugs in food and so forth. It's kind of like this generation, whatever they call them, this new generation, are guinea pigs. Let's try smart meters so we don't have to send people out to check your electricity. It's amazing, and I see across the sky all these, these clouds, trails. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but we'll get back to the topic here. I'm pretty proud of them because they say Friday when you get home from school and Saturday morning, you can get, and they love their games, they create games and so forth. Then it's over. We talked about this. Tonight we'll watch a movie and have hot chocolate and so forth. Is electromagnetic fields, we have to be cognizant of that. I mean, that's something that's absolutely real. The fontanelles in children, the permeability of these fields into the brain, parietal lobes and so forth of the brain. Have you ever investigated that? Have you ever seen a child that was blown out on that?
Yeah, I mean, we see it quite a bit where when we talk about a concept known as grounding or earthing, and parents usually give us feedback that when they incorporate that principle in the home, their children respond very well in the sense of they become calmer, not as agitated, they sleep better. So these things do have relevance. It's just that on the academia side, it has not been exhausted to look at those things.
Because there's so much right now. By the by, folks, grounding is take the kids' shoes and socks off.
That's right.
Let them run outside in the dirt and the mud and so forth. Dare I say a drink from the hose? I won't go that far. When we were kids, that was just everyday stuff. Yeah. The Shine Pediatrics sees a large number of patients. Do you ever have openings? And these would have to be people here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Do you have openings for new patients?
We do. We really try to emphasize connecting with our newborns, new babies that are born. We do have openings for children that have more complex medical conditions, but those access points are not as much as the newborns. But we do see those children as well, but there will likely be a wait time just because there's no other practices that are really servicing those children that have that need.
And doing what you're doing, integrating natural remedies. I love that approach. God bless you. Thank you so much, Dr. Naidoo.
Thank you, Doug.
I'm just sitting here laughing, retrospective thoughts here. Mom used to go, when we were kids, there were 5 of us, when we were kids, Mom used to get a 24-pack of soda pop, and I remember it was like $1.50 or $2, and the guy would help her load them in the car, big old station wagon, a 48 Buick, Woody station wagon, beautiful car. When I got a little older, my preference was RC Cola. Remember RC Cola? And every day I'd have an RC Cola. I don't think that's okay now. But is it the soda or something in the soda that might be causing all these problems? The further we go, the more we learn, right? Sugar sweetened and artificially sweetened beverages and risk of liver cancer and chronic liver disease mortality. What? Fatal soda pop? Who ever heard of such a thing? Folks, that's what I want to talk about for just a few minutes here. The more we can detect diseases earlier, the better, because they're then treatable, and in my humble opinion, before that, they are preventable. That's what Know the Cause is all about. Data was from the Women's Health Initiative, which began 30 years ago. About 2/3 of adults in America consume sugar-sweetened beverages daily. Really? 67% of adults in America drink soda pop daily. Wow. Well, this study involved about 100,000 postmenopausal women aged 50 to 79. They enrolled in the Women's Health Initiative back in 1993 and were followed up March 1st of 2020. These were nurses, as I recall, the Women's Health Initiative. They gathered a lot of data on these. Things like, do you drink alcohol? You know, what soaps do you use? Do you have a soda pop every day? And then all that collaborative data is put together and they can surmise certain things out of this. Here's what the Journal of the American Medical Association said that they got from this investigational study. The observational analysis revealed that postmenopausal women who consume, go with me here now, women 50 to 79 years old who consume at least one soda pop daily had an 85% higher risk of developing liver cancer and almost a 68% higher risk of dying from chronic liver disease compared with women who consume 3 servings, 3 soda pops a month. Wow, there's something in soda pop that must affect the liver. There is. And I think it affects far more than just the liver. I think head to toe, an ingredient might be responsible, just my take, okay? Was it aspartame? Last month, the International Agency for Cancer Research officially classified the artificial sweetener aspartame as a possible cancer-causing agent. But cancer epidemiologist, this doctor, commented, the evidence that aspartame caused primary liver cancer, in this study anyway, or other cancer in humans is very weak. Okay, I'm sorry, I believe that. I don't think it's aspartame, folks. That's something I've just stayed away from forever. The cleaving of 2 amino acids, purportedly harmless, you know, back decades ago, and now they're finding, you know, as we can detect things with bigger microscopes, we see things we didn't see at one time. So it wasn't the aspartame. Is it the soda pop? What might this be? Soda ingredients are proprietary. You guys know that. It's hard to know exactly what's in soda pop. But we do know that most contain something called high fructose corn syrup, or corn sweeteners. Corn is vulnerable to contamination by Aspergillus molds, which makes poisonous substances called aflatoxins. Says the National Cancer Institute, aflatoxins are a family of toxins produced by certain fungi that are found on agricultural crops, such as corn. Exposure to aflatoxins is associated with an increased risk of liver cancer. Aflatoxins on corn, corn sweeteners in soda pop, be still my heart. It couldn't be that, could it? Studies suggest that high fructose intake may increase the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Boy, there's a lot of that going around right now, in which too much fat is stored in liver cells. Fatty liver diseases can lead to liver inflammation and liver damage, resulting in something called NASH, non-alcoholic liver disease. NASH can progress to scarring of the liver, cirrhosis, liver cancer, and liver failure. My gosh, I think what they're saying is corn may be the culprit here. Not sure of that myself. You know the easy way to prevent this? Don't drink soda pop. Hope that helps. I was trying to think the name of the store. When we were kids, we'd walk home from Catholic school out in Whittier, California, and we'd stop and buy a 24-pack, my sister and I, a 24-pack of soda pop that were like 5 cents each. And take them home and, you know, we'd all pop them and sit out back and eat watermelon and so forth. Things have changed a lot in the past 70 years. You know, that's no longer okay. Just keep an eye on this, folks. Should you postmenopausally be drinking soda pop anyway? You know, it's just like, to me, alcohol or smoking cigarettes. Just be careful. Thank you, both Kelli Callihan for her information on thermography and for Dr. Randy Naidoo. He's out here in the Dallas area. I wish every major city had a Dr. Randy Naidoo. God bless you, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The preceding program, Know the Cause, was paid for by Mediatrition Incorporated.